Pollution!
Yeah, I hate the pollution here.
Pollution!
I don't like the weather here. When it's cold, it's too cold.
The variety of food is limited, especially Western type food. It's not like local Cantonese food. There's a lot of walking. You need to walk a lot.
That it's sometimes hard if you can't speak Cantonese, so they don't like speaking Mandarin or sometimes even English, so it's better to go somewhere with locals.
So I think the student life here is very different from the student life in my home university, and that is what I don't like that much about it, because at my home university everything is combined together, studying, partying, doing something else, and here it's pretty most about studying.
Probably a bit too crowded at times. Yeah, probably too crowded.
And the least favorite about Hong Kong is that the online shopping is not very popular in Hong Kong, and like Taobao, you cannot, the Taobao does not deliver to Hong Kong because the delivery fee is very high. Taobao is an online shopping center like Amazon in America. Amazon in China is also very popular, but Taobao covers more varieties and the prices are relatively lower. Maybe the people are too stressed out.
Okay.
And because there are so many Chinese visitors come to Hong Kong, because the taxes on products are relatively lower than mainland China. So for example, the high-end brands, the luxury goods and the cosmetic products are relatively lower the prices. So a lot of mainland Chinese come to Hong Kong to buy the products, and making the streets very, very busy. And the people who serve them think that looking at the Japanese, they still know how to be humble, though they are very rich. But look at the Chinese, they don't know how to behave well. They have bad manners, like they are very polite, and sometimes some of them shout very loudly in public spaces, making the Hong Kong people maybe like not very welcome with mainland Chinese.
It's a little bit crowded and the air quality is not that good because there's a lot of traffic congestion and the building are too packed and I can't actually see the natural environment.
I enjoy that a lot, but when it comes to the people, they are good, some of them, but most of the time they are always reclusive towards themselves. They don't open up. Yeah. And the other thing, more that I wouldn't like, has to do with how suffocating this place is. Yeah, the first time I came, it was so suffocating because of everything enclosed. You don't get to see that opening environment. Yeah, it's very suffocating. Yeah, and the food, I don't like it. It's not something I'm enjoying because I've lost a lot of weight since I came. Yeah.
Isn't that a good thing? Is that
in a way it's good, but
it's not a Ghanaian, it's not an African thing to want to lose weight. Maybe in Western countries and here in Asia, losing weight is like the goal.
When I came, I felt odd because I had a roommate. She was from mainland, and she will always be talking. You have to lose weight. You have to. When we go for hiking, she will always be passing those comments. To them, when you are big, you are sick. Yeah, you are sick.
Yeah,
it's different in my country. Sometimes
being big is being rich.
Yeah. Well, cultural difference anyway. So.
My least favourite thing about Hong Kong is the fact that, well, it's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's great that it's so cheap to have unlimited data, but it's a terrible thing because no one ever looks where they're going. They're always on their phone. You can't smile at people, you can't interact in any way, and people get knocked down regularly because they don't look where they're going when they're crossing the road.
I think it's too many people. Yeah, because now very mainlander from China come to Hong Kong, and in Mong Kok and Causeway Bay there are a lot of people with their pack more,
Suitcases.
yeah, suitcase. So I think it's very crowded. So it's not a perfect situation to go shopping, and it's something I feel annoying.
The weather, because it's really hot and I can't breathe here normally, and maybe I don't like that most of restaurants and cafes don't have English menu for us who don't know any Chinese, and local people mostly can't speak English too, and the city is too crowded.
People never leave the door open for you when you're walking behind.
People don't understand when we ask questions or when we're lost. People don't help us, but I guess that this happens in every big city, because I think local people here are very nice to foreigners. Of course not everyone, but most of them, because for instance every time you just try to say Mga or Neho, or just try to speak their own language, then they're super then they understand you and they really get to help you and stuff. So this is what I love. So I think this is the same thing in every big city, is that you just have to make one step and then they'll make the second step, but you have to go first.
The thing here is to find accommodation is very expensive, and it's very small.
People are rude. I mean, I guess it's just a cultural thing, but still, I mean, they would just bump into you in the MTR, not even caring, not say sorry, not say thank you if you say something to them or do something for them. So I mean, I'm kind of used to it by now, but still, like, people are rude.
It's the amount of waste that Hong Kong produces.
How there's always this like pressure to feel like to be ahead of one another, like not just like mentally, just even on the train. If you're like running to catch the other one, if you walk fast, then the person next to you always feels the need to walk faster than you, and there's always this like pressure to like be really good at everything you do. Like in school, they're pressuring you to do your best, and it's really like a really negative mindset. And I feel like a lot of people in Hong Kong just don't smile. They're always like, there's this quote that says there's already tomorrow in Hong Kong, because people just don't stop to like notice everything around them. They're always in a hurry to do things. They're always like trying to stay on top. It's really bad.
Okay, probably the fact that everything is so, at least to me, it feels very unsustainable. Plastics everywhere. You get plastic bags for every single bun you buy at the bakery, and I don't know, it's a little dirty, and it comes across as a very wasteful city, if that makes sense.
And maybe the food. I didn't like the food that much here, and also when you see the way they are preparing it, like it's not really clean, and yeah, so it was a bit difficult for me, but now I think I get used to it, so it's fine.
Is some of the racism that you can perceive here?
Customer service. Yeah, I'm a stickler for very good customer service, and a lot of places here, I mean, it depends. It really depends on where you go, but that was kind of a culture shock for me.
The amount of waste that gets thrown away.
The feeling that I get from the work routine here, I think it's kind of unhealthy. It's like the labor relations. I don't know if it wouldn't be my perfect word. Something like that. Because I feel like Hong Kong is a city that it has a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, it's a city where the work has to be in the center of your life in a way, less than of choice, but more of a lot of necessity, because it's so expensive to live here. Like, we are lucky because we live in the university, but if you have an apartment or something, you either live very far from your job or you pay a lot, and then I feel like it lacks some freedom.
If you look a bit different than them, they would stare at you for quite a long time, and they would be scared sometimes. So if you don't look like the Chinese, or if you're just not like of a different ethnicity or of a different race, then you would get scared. stairs, so one should be ready for that.
The school, I don't know, it's just that they teach a lot differently than back home, and it's just just frustrated at points. So I guess just the teaching style. So the school I go to, well, I'm majoring in engineering, so in engineering is a lot of like math problems, stuff like that. But at my school it's very example based. So in the classes we go over a lot of examples in class of how to do the problems and stuff like that. They really explain it to us before giving us homework. But here it's more like, oh, I'll give you some concepts and then you go figure it out. But then I have a hard time with that. I'm more like, I need to be able to see and hear what I need to do and not just have the overall concept. So that was something that I really struggled with.
It's really crowded because Hong Kong is a really small place and it has a relatively big population. So it's really crowded everywhere, even if it is not during the peak hours. You know, in the train stations, there's always full of people, but I've been living in Hong Kong for a very long time, so I got used to it.
Hong Kong is too crowded.
Probably the fact that there's a lot of buildings. You can't see any open space here.
The political environment, because from the past, people may like China or have a yes, but now people, more and more people have discontent about China because about the harsh policies.
The obsession with Caucasian features, there's nothing wrong, but then again it's kind of unattainable, judging from the fact that majority of them are not Caucasian, they're Asian, so their features are not the same. So it's kind of like a very unhealthy standard to live by, to grow up, you know, where everyone is thinking that this is the most desirable when their people are not looking like that. So it's quite unhealthy. I mean, I'm not Asian, so I don't know how negatively that affects them, or if that's just become so normal. It's just is what it is. But my own thing is the fact that I have to be careful what kind of product I buy, because it's like, since that's their beauty standard, they're putting whitening agents in basically every product. Extra whitening agents, basically. That's crazy. Why would you need your armpits to be whiter? I've heard of like skin whitening, but I didn't know you could do deodorant whitening, and there's so many other things that I just had to be careful. I was like, okay, so what are the ingredients to whitening one's body, and I need to know so that I don't buy products like that.
The humidity right now is certainly not one of my favorite things. It's kind of, there's a lot of sweating going on.
Well, guys, that is my piece on my experience in Hong Kong. I hope you guys liked this video. It was really fun. I try to diversify my audiences, try to get a good variety of international students and local students as well, so that you guys can get a more mixed opinion, and then also see yourselves in the voices that you're hearing, and basically connect however you feel. So if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and you can share it. Comment down below if you've been to Hong Kong as well, and what were your own experience and opinions. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye! Check out my latest video on the left and my last video on the right over here. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time. Bye!